one thing that we really haven't mentioned, but let's say that you are the seller and you are out of state. For example, your mom owns a unit here in Michigan or a house here in Michigan. And mom passes, unfortunately. And so kids out of state are trying to help out and resolve an issue. So you may have on a seller's disclosure statement, a statement all the way down saying unknown, 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 all the way down. Like, I'm out of state, I don't know, I didn't live in my mom's unit, or I haven't, lived with my mom in quite some time, kind of thing. So there may be, situations where the seller just says, I don't know. And that can be actually truthful. So that's the other factor here on the seller's disclosure statement, is when you're looking at that as a buyer, what is the information that's being conveyed to you? And if the person's saying, I don't know, that does, can create some issues where, is there extra due diligence you need to do as the buyer before you close on this house or unit?
And that's where the buyer beware comes in, and as he said, that's where doing your due diligence becomes even more prevalent.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've had clients that have had just about every inspection that actually over $1,000 spent on inspections. They did an air quality inside and out. They did the sewer scope. Of course, they had the furnace inspection done themselves because they didn't trust the seller. They had a general inspection, you name it, whatever they could, they had done. Pest inspection.
You can do radon gas inspection.
We had the radon, and that's actually becoming more common. When I first started in the business, it wasn't a whole lot, but the past 3 years, I think, it's almost common now. Actually, it's uncommon when they don't want it, as well as the sewer scope. Sewer scopes weren't really all that common, but now I wouldn't suggest somebody buy a house without one, especially depending upon the age of the home and the type of pipes that are down there, and if they're in a wetland area, whatever. But yeah, there's tons of inspections that you can add on, and usually if you do them while the inspection is happening, they cut that price a little bit.
That's correct.
But they can become expensive. But that's one of those cases where they don't know anything, bank-owned property. Buyer beware. Some people, I don't press when they're like contractors to get those extra inspections, because they could do the repairs themselves, or they have a company or things like that. But people who are not contractors and they're not handy, I wouldn't take that on myself.
I would be the person to say firsthand, I am not handy. So I definitely understand that. And it is worth it. When you look at the risk reward, a little bit of extra work on the front end to check things out can really help you, so that you're not calling me, after the fact and saying, here's the issue that I'm dealing with now. So what's the old saying, like an ounce of prevention?
Exactly.
So.
But you wouldn't mind calling Joe, because I enjoy calling Joe. I call him a lot.
That's fair.
For all kinds of stuff, because it's good advice. It points you in the right direction, and it lets you know, yeah, you're crazy, or no, you have a valid issue. Yeah. But here's what you need to do. Here's your part to get that rolling. So, but yeah, if you do have to call someone, it's actually a good person to call, easy to talk with. As you could tell, because I'm sitting here with them, I actually do know some attorneys that don't answer their calls.
Well.
Or return them.
I do my best.
Even if you got to return it late, like days or a week, but at least you eventually say, hey, you know what, sorry about that. Or quickly talk you off the phone. That's not something that I've experienced with Joe either. So I greatly do appreciate all the time and attention that he's given, not just to me, but in general,